Hello and welcome. My name is Mary Hatton. Welcome to the Permission Mission Show, broadcasting live here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the WWDBTV. We are talking today about hate. Yes, that four-letter word, the four-letter word that if you grew up in a family like my house, it was the word that you got the wooden spoon thrown at you. It seemed like my mom was pitching for the World Series when she heard us say this word that we hate each other, or we hate this, or we hate that. And all of a sudden, there would be a wooden spoon coming in our direction. And I don't even think she really cared about where it hit us. She did not like that word. And I don't either. However, I know that the Permission Mission Show is here to talk about tough things, tough topics, open up the conversation so that we have the topic of mortality more of a common conversation versus one that we know is inevitable. And of course, we will hate the beginning of it, but after it's all said and done, there is a lot of peace and there's a lot of things that you will see as a reward, not only to your own life, but to the family who will still be living. So I was thinking about the notes I used to write my mom, or the notes that were passed in the classroom, right? About a boy, a particular boy. Do you like me? Yes or no? Or when I would get in trouble, I would write these little notes to my mom and I would say, do you hate me? Yes or no? Do you still love me? Yes or no? And my mom still has these to this day. And the funny thing is here I'm the one that got in trouble, but I'm the one writing these notes, right? It'll all make sense at the end of the show. Stay with me on this. Those notes that you get in the classroom to go see the principal, or you never really knew what it was going to be if a note was given to you. And, we didn't like sometimes what was written on there. We didn't like the fact if a boy said no, we were concerned about that. We took it personal, right? We took the hurt and the hate inside, and that was not something we intended on doing or purposely did. But the word hate is extreme dislike or disgust. Hate is a big, strong word. They say that hate is the opposite of love. So I'm thinking if we were to be okay with talking about mortality that we hate doing, imagine what kind of love that can bring in to our own personal being, self-awareness, self-careness, all of that, to also affecting and impacting a family. Joanne Wolf von Goethe said something very powerful that is a direct kind of example of this. And she says, impotent hatred is most horrible of all emotions. So the most horrible of all emotions is hate. One should hate nobody whom one cannot destroy. So when we're thinking about hating things or I woke up this morning still hearing fireworks at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was not necessarily happy about it. I'm thinking, these people do not have dogs. I'm walking my dog and the dog's like, whoa, 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 trying to avoid the, the sound of those fun, loving, wonderful fireworks that everybody enjoyed last night. Not so fun to the dogs whose ears are sensitive, or to the child, the baby who's sleeping. Again, we don't think about these things. We only think about the moment, and we want everything to always be going good and great. And when it's not, we just don't like it. So hate only destroys us. Hate is something that we will hold inside of us and destroy us. And I am here at the Permission Mission Show to help people keep alive, keep them as long as they possibly can. Everybody goes at their own time. I've shared on the shows before. I have people who want to go and they're not going. I have people who don't want to go and they're going. So normalizing the conversation of mortality, the benefits are tenfold when we can wrap our minds around it being an okay conversation versus one that's silent, that will destroy and that will keep us from living our best life while we're alive. Uh, when we hate our enemies, which means hate is in here, it's not outside of us. When I was writing those letters to my mom, it was because I was hating my behavior, but I wanted her reassurance that she still loved me. When we hate our enemies, we are giving power over us. We are, it takes power over our sleep, it takes power over our appetites, our blood pressure, it takes power over our health, and it also takes our happiness. So, how do we get hate and happiness in the same sentence? Well, it's simple. It's just falling in love with the things we hate to do. Because the one thing that I know that works is having the conversation ahead of time. It's putting that note to your family that says, yes, I have prepared. Yes, I have thought about you this day. Yes, I have my assets going to places that would be left better prepared than not prepared at all and not going to carry out our legacy properly. It is, there are two ways it's going to go, whether we have the conversation or not. The first way is going to be forced. We're not going to have a decision. We are not able to make a decision ahead of time. We're not able to prepare anything ahead of time if we do not open up the conversation of mortality and just talk about our plans and our wishes when we can. I know that there are a lot of families that don't have a chance to do that because things happen suddenly. And at that point, we are forced to make the decisions, and they're not wrong decisions because at that moment, that's our situation and we are going to handle it the very best way that we can. Permission mission is to just be able to get these things ahead of time. I can tell you, when I lost my brother back in 1981, that was the day that I was afraid, to be honest, like really afraid of living, afraid of me dying, to watch my parents go through that nightmare again, afraid of other people dying. There was just this fear that overcame me. And it was this dark cloud that followed me for many, many, many years until I started the conversations with my fathers. It started to open up something that became lighter and lighter and lighter to where today, here I am in 2024, feeling so empowered by a conversation because I was able to have it ahead of time with my family. I'm able to know what my plans are. I don't want to die anytime soon, but I certainly don't want to be afraid of it either. And I don't want to be afraid of living today. I make different decisions with more urgency. I have the clarity knowing that, yes, I am going to go one day. So what do I want to do today about it? And this is what I'm doing about it, is making sure that things are in place. I want to give you an example of something that I think a lot of us can relate to. When you go on vacation, you obviously make lots of plans to do that. Unless you're like someone who's just spur of the moment and does things last minute, that's fine too. When you go on vacation, you feel as if there's just nothing's better if everything turns out right. The hotel you stay in, or the place that you travel to, the food you eat, the people you see, the memories you make, it's all wonderful and great. And it feels good. And then you get home, and guess what's sitting there at home waiting for you? The bills, the schedules, the responsibilities, and it just literally like just wipes out the whole experience you just had prior with your beautiful vacation time. What that is it's not allowing, it's the to-do list. It's the to-do list of thinking about our final day. People don't think that they're thinking about this, but the truth is they are. we're all thinking about it. We're all thinking about our health. We're all thinking about the loss of our loved ones. We're all thinking about mortality on a daily basis because it's happening all over. And it's making, if you're afraid of it like I was, losing my brother, not having him there anymore, thinking I was going to pass away. What about the people who have children? The day I had my son, which was yesterday, was 38 years ago. I remember sitting in the hospital room looking out the windows. He was born around 7, and at 9, those fireworks were all going off. And I remember in that very moment that I wanted him back inside of me because I did not want him in the big world that was full of loud noises and full of scary, unpredictable bombs going off everywhere. I felt that afraidness and that fear immediately. Like, how am I going to protect him in this very big world? And it only gets bigger the more children you have because now you've got a lot to watch after. And I tell you, living afraid is not living. Living afraid is just being afraid, afraid of almost anything and everything. And now that I have faced the truth about my mortality, I have less fears of this, more ability to make a decision to live. Like, just, okay, yes, I'm afraid of this, and I'm being safe about this, and I can do it. I can do it because the worst case scenario is that if I did pass away doing it, all of my things are in place and nobody has to worry. And the aftermath is not going to be as devastating as one person who doesn't acknowledge it and doesn't have the conversation and sits there afraid. This is our opportunity to not be afraid anymore. So when we are living a life of freedom and independence, like we celebrated yesterday, when we come home from vacation, knowing that your plans are in place for that inevitable day, I promise it will not feel like it does without those plans being done. Because if you really think about it, vacations take us away and take our mind off of everything that's important. They just do. We want to have a good time. I love vacations. I just can't be on vacation all the time. When I come home, I want things to be tidy in order. Of course, just imagine never paying your bills or never writing a letter to your children if something were to happen when you left, or having your money go to the wrong places that you worked so hard for your entire life. And we have an opportunity to do something great with it. Not only while we're alive, but even after we've passed on. We know that our money we worked so hard for is going to go towards great, great things in this world. I don't know about you, but I don't want to waste any more time on this planet. I want to make the best of it. And I'm certain that you do too. And what I'm attempting to do is explain to you the only thing that we should hate in this world is the fact that we're not talking about mortality, because it is a direct relation to everything in life that can be okay. It's 100% proof. No one's getting out. And if we have an opportunity to talk about it in advance with ourselves, with our family, if you don't have that person to talk with you about it, reach out to me. Every week I'm saying, call me. I have the website Permission Mission, the contact page. Reach out to me. Even if you just said, Mary, I don't want to talk about this. Awesome. I'm going to say, yes, I give you permission that we'll just take one step at a time. You will feel lighter. It's the not having the conversation that's weighing us down. It's stealing our joy. It's making us afraid. It's keeping us from taking risk, good risk. I'm not talking about like jumping out of an airplane risk. If you like doing that, good for you. I think you should definitely have a plan in place then. I'm not that person. I mean, I'll do crazy things. I bungee jumped and all of that. But I really love life today more than I ever have. And it's only because I've had this talk, and I'll continue to have it. And I want to have it with you. Reach out to the permissionmission.com. Just check in with me. Couple minutes of conversation. I promise you, you'll know how to do it. I'm also going to take it a step further. Going to be putting workshops together here in Las Vegas so that up to 10 people, it'll be invite only. It's so that those leaders, those people, you know who you are, you have a desire in you to make an impact in the world. You know that you came here for a reason and a purpose. Talking about mortality helps open that up for you. It helps you get very clear about what you're here to do. That's what the workshops are going to be all about. Our first one is going to be in August on the 22nd. Again, it's invite only, but it'll be a way for us to build our confidence around this topic and not let it have us afraid or paralyzed or not doing the things that we know that we need to do, that we hate doing, but in return, it'll be the love note that your family will receive the day that you are not here, and you get to open up that page or that letter and you see that it's checked off. Did I live a life well, and did I plan for the end well? And the box is checked yes. That's what we have an opportunity to do while we can. Some people didn't go home last night. They didn't see that permission mission was an opportunity yet. So I'm asking you also to share this video. Go to WWDBTV, share this video with your friends and family. Hey, it will even open that conversation up for you because you both have the same knowledge to say that we have permission to talk about this because Mary says that it's okay to. That would be a great way of taking today, July 5th, 2024, and taking life by the hands and doing something about this fear that is instilled in all of us. And just have that love note ready so that nobody's guessing anymore. That is the show for today. I'm going to close it out with our 5-second rule. The 5-second rule is favor. Favor is just saying, I know that I'm important. Got to take care of myself. Make sure I'm hydrated. Make sure that I'm not buying into all the stories or the negativity or the hate that's out there. Listen, it's not going to go away, but it can be healed inside of here. That hate that we have towards things in life that really only kill us and not other people that are doing it, I say stop. Stop today. Favor you. Favor inside, value. I can't imagine how valuable a life is, but I also know that the more value on our death is going to increase our value for living, and also just value everyone and everything. It's important that we watch out for each other on the roads, keep people safe. I don't, I hope the fireworks are over, at least to give those small animals or those big animals a chance to just not be afraid to live their best life as a dog. Because listen, if I come back to this earth as somebody else, I want to be my dog, because I'm a good owner. My dog is spoiled. And I know a ton of you out there who do the same thing with your pet. So let's talk about mortality in advance. you can set everyone up to feel better if and when, it's not if, it's when that day occurs. Be safe, everyone. Talk to you next week. We've got a wonderful guest coming, Susie Truby. She is Big Will down at the Family Support, Child Support Division here in Las Vegas, Nevada, making some really good changes and always in the community, helping our children be safe. And she is going to share her true story of how her daughter passed away, and her daughter was an organ donor, and she's going to share how that changed her life, but also what she's gaining from it and how she's honoring her daughter each and every day. So Susie Truby will be here next week. So take care, everybody. We'll see you next week on the Permission Mission Show.